Part 97. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 961. Chapter 961. You are no different from other men. Why did you come and say these things to me for her? In the end, are you going to leave me because of that vixen? When she said this, there was strong hatred in her eyes and she gritted her teeth. Chiao Mian Mian, again Chiao Mian Mian. Why is it not enough that this took away the man she loved most, and now he has to take away the only person around her who cares about her? Is she willing to give up until she has nothing left? She is really hateful. I have never hated someone so much. Ever since she was little, she has been the one who is loved and supported by everyone. She is the eldest daughter of the Shen family. From the moment she is born, her status allows her to live as she pleases. Anything she wants can be easily obtained. It can be said that the only setbacks and difficulties she encountered in the past 20 years were caused by Mo Yesi. Other than that, she can get whatever she wants. But now, her life has become a mess because of Chiao Mian Mian, a bitch. She is just a cheap girl born in a small family, who has the right to compete with her. Does she deserve to rob her? What else does I have besides that foxy face? That face, is it really that important? She originally thought that the men around her were different, at least not the kind of superficial men who only looked at their appearance. Unexpectedly, it turns out that all men in the world are the same. As long as a woman has a pretty enough face, she can get everything she wants. Mo Yesi is like this. The same is true for Gong Zili. These two men, no matter how different they were in her eyes, were so superficial. Is face really that important? In terms of all aspects of conditions, she is no better than that little Chiao Mian Mian. However, she had liked Mo Yesi for more than 20 years, but his final choice was not her. He would rather have a hasty marriage with a woman he has known for a short time than accept her. Now, even the man who has been by her side and said he would be good to her all his life has quickly changed his mind. Years of relationship are not as good as a foxy face. Gong Zili, I didn't expect you to be such a superficial man. Shenro was extremely angry and felt that her self-esteem had been deeply hit. She couldn't help but taunted angrily, you also have a crush on that vixen, right? Wrong. What do you like about her? Do you like her charming face, or do you like the excitement of coveting your brother's wife? You are really not picky at all. You can like other people's wives. I used to. Why didn't I know you had such a quirk? Shenro's words were unpleasant. She cannot accept losing to a woman who is not as good as her again and again. The man she liked and the man who liked her were both snatched away by the same woman. And this woman is still the kind of woman she despises the most. How could she bear to lose to such a woman if she was as arrogant as she was? Seeing Gong Zili's gloomy face, she felt angry and sour in her heart, and her words became more and more harsh. It's funny that I believed your promises before, thinking that you would really be good to me all your life, and only like me myself. It turns out that you are no different from other men. I have been pretending to be affectionate and single-minded for so many years, and it's really hard for you. Am I pretending to be affectionate and dedicated? Gong Zili finally couldn't help but sneered. No matter how good I pretend to be, how can I be better than you? Yes, I did promise you that I will be good to you and take care of you all my life. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 962. Chapter 962. I said, I seem to have fallen in love with you. But at that time, I thought I owed you a life. So taking care of you and being kind to you is what I should do. You lied to me and now you still want me to fulfill my past promises? Shenro, don't you think your request is too much? Am I going too far? Facing his cold and distant eyes, Shenro felt like she was being stabbed in the heart, and her heart felt painful and astringent. She couldn't help but shed tears, Gong Zili, you are the one who went too far. I would rather you had never been nice to me than like this. Do you know that I feel really uncomfortable in my heart? You suddenly treat me so coldly, like a stranger, I really can't accept it. Get used to a person's goodness. The day lost is a life-threatening torment and pain. Even if she doesn't love Gong Zili. She also couldn't stand his sudden indifference to her. Gong Zili pursed his lips. Seeing her tears streaming down his face, he still felt a little unbearable. He has taken care of Shenro for so many years. It is impossible to have no feelings at all. She had always been strong, but she cried repeatedly in front of him, and it was impossible for him not to be moved at all. Even if she cheated on him. The relationship that has existed for so many years does not mean that it will be gone just because it is gone. However, he also knew very well that it was impossible for him to forgive her now. He couldn't get over the hurdle in his heart. Since he couldn't get through it, he didn't want to give her any hope. You will get used to it gradually. Miyazawa turned away and pushed her away. In this world, no one can survive without you. Besides, I am not that important to you. No, that's not the case, Zili. Shenro stretched out her hand, trying to catch him. She wanted to tell him that it was not what he said. She also always thought that he was not that important to her. But after losing contact with him for the past few days, she realized that he had occupied a very important position in her heart. It was much, much more important than she imagined. These past few days, all she could think about was him. It's him when you open your eyes, and it's him when you close your eyes. She frantically called him and sent messages, hoping to get a response from him. She was really scared. He would never pay attention to her again and treat her completely as a stranger. She also discovered something very scary and unexpected. In the past few days, she had not even thought about Moyesi. The man she had been obsessed with and liked for more than 20 years actually disappeared from her world for several days. This was absolutely impossible to happen before. She didn't dare to think about what this meant. She has only one thought in her mind right now, and that is to keep Gong Zili. She does not want him to withdraw from her world. Zili, you are very important to me. I really can't live without you. Shenro grabbed his arm to prevent him from leaving, and humbly said, please, don't leave me, okay? I did something wrong. I can change it? I take back what I just said. I know you still like me, right? Zili, I suddenly discovered something in the past few days. I found that I seem to like you. Gong Zili froze, lowered his head, and looked at her in shock. He had a look of disbelief in his eyes. What did you say? Shenro raised her head and looked at him with tears in her eyes. I said, I seem to have fallen in love with you. Zili, didn't you say you would marry me? Can we be together? End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 963. Chapter 963. Have you never liked me? Although I don't know what will happen in the future, I want to be with you now. She grabbed his hand tightly, her eyes pitiful. Didn't you say that you wanted me to be your girlfriend? Then let's be together now, okay? The person you like is ACI. After a moment of astonishment, Gong Zili's expression returned to normal. Regardless of her pleas and resistance, he forcefully pulled her hand away. Shenro, you don't need to use this method to keep me. I am not important to you. You can't accept me leaving you now, just because you are used to me being good to you and used to me being by your side all the time. But this is just a dependence developed over a long time. Don't really like it? Any habit and dependence can be slowly forgotten over time. No. Shenro shook her head desperately. That's not the case, Zili, I am serious. I don't want to know what you are thinking. Shenro, we can't be together. Gong Zili interrupted her coldly, and his words were very decisive, leaving her no hope. This period of time is not only you figured something out, and I figured it out too. I always thought I liked you, so I wanted to be with you, marry you, and want you to be my wife so that I could take care of you. For a lifetime. Shenro's eyes widened suddenly, and her tear-stained face turned pale. What do you want to say? Gongzili looked at her steadily. After hesitating for a few seconds, he still said those words, I just realized that I have never liked you. My feelings for you are not like between men and women. Shenro's face turned pale as a sheet for an instant. What did you say? Gongzili, do you want to tell me that you have never liked me? Gongzili was silent for a moment, and said with apology in his eyes, I think it should be like this. At that time, when I was young, I took my gratitude towards her as a sign that I liked her. Although I had doubts later on, I still wanted to take good care of her and treat her well. No matter what, she saved his life. Shenro's face had no trace of blood left, and she was as pale as a ghost. She shook her head desperately, it's impossible, it's impossible. How could he have never liked her? He must have said it out of anger. Because she lied to him, because she suspected that he was in love with Jiao Mian, so he was angry with her. That's why he said these words deliberately to make her angry. Yes, that's right. He must have said angry words. She would never believe it. He had never liked her. He was so kind to her and doted on her so much, how could he not have liked her? Gongzili looked at her calmly, when I was young, I didn't understand what it felt like to like someone. That's why I mistook gratitude for liking. Now that I understand it, I have to say clear. That's enough. Shenro covered her face in collapse and cried bitterly, stop talking, I don't want to hear it anymore. Gongzili, how could you be so cruel to me? How could you? Gongzili looked at her quietly for a while, if you are willing to stop now and stop targeting Jiao Mian in the future, I can help you intercede with ACI. Shenro, feelings cannot be forced, there's no need to force it anymore. You give up, let ASI and Jiao Mian go, and let yourself go. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 964. Chapter 964, he has already seen clearly what you are like. His words completely angered Shenro. She raised her head suddenly, with a ferocious expression on her tear-stained face, and strong hatred in her eyes. She gritted her teeth and said word by word, you want me to stop? That took everything from me. You actually want me to stop? Do you know how much I hate her now? Gongzili frowned. I wish she would die immediately. Shenro's reason had been swallowed up by hatred, and the expression on her face was ferocious and terrifying. I won't let her go. She doesn't deserve the happiness she has now. She took away the original happiness. Everything that should be mine, she makes my life miserable every day, and I won't make it easy for her. She didn't steal anything from you. It was ACI who decided to be with her and marry her. What does it have to do with her? Gongzili looked at her crazy and terrifying look, and his face became colder. His eyes also turned cold. He no longer cared about the old relationship. With a warning in his eyes, he said coldly every word, if you insist on targeting her, I will not stand idly by anymore. Shenro, even if we can't be friends, I don't want us to become friends in the future. Enemy. Don't force me. Shenro looked at him in disbelief. After staring at him with a pale face for a moment, the corners of her lips curled up mockingly, and the anger flowed out of her eyes. Gongzili, you said so many high-sounding things before. If so, now you have finally revealed your true feelings. You are really hypocritical. Just say that you have a different love and you fall in love with that little bitch. You have to find so many high-sounding reasons for your change of heart. Heh, it's true that all men in the world are the same, and none of them are good. Gongzili's face darkened. This is the true upbringing etiquette of the eldest daughter of the Shen family. I understand. Sure enough, how could you be the one who saved me that night? How could you be a beautiful girl like an angel, such? I was indeed blind before, otherwise how could I have recognized you as the same person? She is so beautiful, and you. Mongzili's eyes revealed a look of disgust for the first time. Do you know why ACI doesn't like you? Shenro's face turned pale and she gritted her teeth. Gongzili, you. Gongzili glanced at her with disgust, turned around and said, I think he is smarter than me. He has already seen clearly what you are like, and I am the only one who has been fooled by you for so many years. As soon as he said these words, the last trace of color on Shenro's face faded away. After finishing speaking, Gongzili never looked at her again, turned around and left. Asterisk. Huanya Media. Linda was doing errands outside and was called back by a call from Zhao Kai. She reached out and knocked on the door. After a sound came from inside, she opened the door and walked in. As soon as she walked into the office, she saw Zhao Kai walking towards her with an anxious look on his face. Linda, have you told her that the company is terminating the contract with Jiao Mian? Linda glanced at him and said with doubts in her eyes, as I said, didn't you ask me to talk to her about the termination of the contract? Mr. Zhao, I know we can't afford to offend Miss Shen's family. You also hope that the company can be resolved as soon as possible. However, there is no need to rush into cancelling the contract with Jiao Mian. Could it be that if you terminate the contract one day late, the eldest lady of the Shen family can still eat you? End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 965. Chapter 965. What do you mean? Not terminating the contract? When Zhao Kai heard what she said, his expression suddenly changed and he looked even more anxious. Have you already told her? I told you. Although Linda also knew his helplessness, she was still a little dissatisfied in her heart, and her tone was not very good. Mr. Zhao, you made the matter so serious, how dare I not say it? Get out of your office. I called her immediately to tell her about the contract. We have made an appointment to have dinner together tonight, and we will discuss the matter in person. If Mr. Zhao is worried that I can't handle this matter well, you can find someone who can reassure you to handle this matter. That's not what I meant. Zhao Kai looked worried when he heard that she had talked to Jiao Mian about terminating the contract, and said hurriedly, what I mean is, if we haven't talked about terminating the contract yet, then don't the contract is terminated. Mr. Zhao, Linda was stunned, looking at him in surprise and confusion. What do you mean? You're not terminating the contract. Zhao Kai nodded hurriedly and said, yes, we will not terminate the contract. Linda. Mr. Zhao, didn't you say that this was Miss Shen's intention? Aren't you afraid of offending Miss Shen? Linda is also aware of the power of the Shen family. It is normal for Zhao Kai to be afraid. That is indeed not someone he can offend. In fact, looking at the entire Yun city, how many people dare to offend the Shen family? So even if she is dissatisfied with the termination of the contract, she can understand Zhao Kai. If it were Zhao Kai, she wouldn't be able to offend the eldest lady of the Shen family for a newcomer. No matter how potential and outstanding that young newcomer is. But now, he suddenly changed his words and said he would not terminate the contract. Ahem. Zhao Kai covered his lips and coughed twice, hiding the embarrassment on his face. At that time, how did you know that the young newcomer had such a big backer? Why didn't you tell me? If I did, I wouldn't think about terminating the contract. Linda became more and more confused. Mr. Zhao, what do you mean? You mean there is a big backer behind Mian? How come I don't know about this? Zhao Kai was able to change his mind and not terminate the contract with Jiao Mian even if he did not hesitate to offend the eldest daughter of the Shen family. This shows that the big backer he was talking about was obviously a more powerful person than the eldest daughter of the Shen family. Could it be? Linda suddenly thought of a person, her face changed slightly, and she immediately started to gossip. Mr. Zhao, is the backer you are talking about the prince of the Gong family? Although the Shen family, Bai family, Gong family, and Mo family are collectively called the four major families in Yuncheng. But in terms of financial resources and power, the Shen family is still inferior to the Gong family. Not to mention the one from the Gong family, who will be the sole heir to the Gong family group in the future. This is something that the eldest lady of the Shen family cannot compare with. I heard that although the eldest daughter of the Shen family is favored, the Shen group will not give it to female members of the Shen family in the future. At most, just give her some shares. This is incomparable with the crown prince of the Gong family who can monopolize power. If she had to offend one of the two people, she would choose the eldest daughter of the Shen family if she was Zhao Kai. Linda felt that it was 100% Miyazawa Li. Gong Zili had defended Jiao Mian on Weibo before, and then there was another scandal between the two. No matter how you look at it, Gong Zili seems to be interested in Jiao Mian. Unexpectedly, Zhao Kai shook his head and said, "It's not him." You certainly can't imagine who it is, and I didn't expect it either, so I was very surprised at the time. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 966. Chapter 966. She is Mo Yessie's girlfriend. Not the young lady? Who is that? Don't show off to me. Linda really couldn't think of anyone else. Zhao Kai ignored her question and asked seriously, "Linda, let me ask you, does Jiao Mian have a boyfriend?" Linda was stunned for a moment, and then nodded, "Yes. She told me about this matter before signing the contract. I think it's not a big problem as long as it's not made public. So I didn't tell you about it? Have you met her boyfriend?" "I've seen him before." Speaking of this person, Linda was very impressed and couldn't help but praise him. The appearance is very good, and the temperament is also very good. If Mian hadn't said that he was not interested in the entertainment industry, I would have really wanted to sign them together. I'm not bragging, her boyfriend's appearance is better than any other male artist in the industry today. Zhao Kai's mouth twitched. Do you know who her boyfriend is? You still want to sign him? If you can sign him, I will stomp my head and use it as a stool for you to sit on. Linda. She said her boyfriend is in small business. Ahem, cough, cough. Zhao Kai couldn't hold it back and almost spit out, a small business owner? If President Mo is a small business owner, then no one would dare to say that his business is big. What? Linda was dumbfounded. It took her a while before she slowly realized, President Mo? Mr. Zhao, are you saying that Mian's boyfriend is the president of Mo? Zhao Kai nodded and looked at her exaggerated expression of shock, as if she had seen an alien monster. He took a deep breath and said slowly, the newcomer you signed is the girlfriend of President Mo, and Mr. Mo is right. She took it very seriously and asked someone to call me to reveal his identity. He said that because of his girlfriend's professional relationship, they decided not to make it public for the time being. So we need to issue a statement and sue the relevant Weibo account. The young newcomer you signed is really hidden deep enough. Man, my friend is such a powerful person, but he has been holding back from telling you. I asked, why every time she has scandals, our public relations department hasn't started to take action, and those scandals miraculously disappear quickly. It turns out that it was her boyfriend who helped her settle those things. Tisk, no wonder Huang Yilin died so miserably. Who can survive after offending President Mo's girlfriend? Linda had not yet fully recovered from the shock just now. She thought it was incredible. Chiao Mianmian's boyfriend, who runs a small business, is actually the president of the Mo family. That is called small business. The economic lifeline of the entire country is in his hands, and this is still a small business. She said that when she first saw that man, she felt that he was extraordinary and absolutely ordinary. Otherwise, why would Chiao Angzhen be so ready to seduce that man? That is an extremely powerful woman. She is the girlfriend of President Mo, and we cannot terminate the contract with her. Zhao Kai made his wishful thinking loudly. Even if there is no chance to cooperate with Mo in the future, it is safe to make friends with her boyfriend and get to know her. It's a good thing to make money without losing money. Besides, since his girlfriend signed a contract with my company, I'm not afraid that he won't invest. The more Zhao Kai said, the more flattered he felt, and he couldn't suppress the smile on his lips. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 967. Chapter 967. Ask for as much as you can. Linda. Linda, I don't care what methods you use, you must keep her in the company. Zhao Kai grabbed Linda's hand tightly, as if he had completely forgotten what he had said before, licking his smile, and said shamelessly, like this we must not take advantage of our opponents if we can build them. Linda. Is this shameless and shameless man in front of her really her boss? This is too unprincipled. I promised not to offend the eldest lady of the Shen family. Now that he knew that Chiao Mian had a stronger backer, he immediately changed his mind. There is no fear of offending others. He even said the words workable material. And there's no blush at all. Linda glanced at him with disdain, not taking him seriously as her boss at all, and said sarcastically, Mr. Zhao, are you sure you really don't want to terminate the contract with her? Don't look back. I told her, you old man, I changed my mind again. What if Miss Shen gets angry and wants to settle a score with you? How could Zhao Kai fail to hear the sarcasm in her words? He curled his lips and didn't take her words seriously at all. He said with a playful smile, the Mo family has already said something, so what else do I have to be afraid of? Besides, if the eldest daughter of the Shen family and the president of the Mo family have to offend one, who do you choose? This is called understanding current affairs, understand. If you offend the eldest lady of the Shen family, you will only offend someone at most. But if you offend the president of the Mo family. Zhao Kai couldn't help but shudder as he said this. It's just a matter of entertainment, and what's the matter? It's not like he said he'd kill him. But it's strange to say that since that young newcomer is his girlfriend and he values it so much, why doesn't he sign her to a company under his own banner and support it himself? Linda looked at him like an idiot. Mr. Zhao, have you forgotten that Mo company is not involved in the entertainment industry? Mo company does not have a management company to sign artists, so how could he sign Chiao Mian? Zhao Kai. He really forgot about it? Now that I think about it, Mo's company doesn't have a brokerage company. Oddly enough, Mr. Mo is involved in almost every profitable industry. For example, financial industry, real estate industry, large chain shopping malls, jewelry industry, e-commerce. Even in the field of esports, Mo is also involved. But the only thing is that he has not been involved in the entertainment industry. It is said that the old man of the Mo family does not like the entertainment industry and does not think highly of this industry, so he has invested in so many industries, but he has not invested in the entertainment industry. Thinking of Chiao Mianmian's identity, Zhao Kai couldn't help but sigh. Although that young newcomer is indeed capable and can have such a big backstage as President Mo, however, I don't know how long this President Mo can maintain his freshness towards her. I hope you won't get tired of it after only a few months. When you go to see her in the evening, have a good talk with her, let her be smart, and seize the opportunity she can. While she still likes her, she is still willing to give her. She invests, asks for resources when she needs them, and asks for as much as she can. Don't wait until the daylilies are cold before she thinks of these things. By then it will be too late. Not to mention anything else, just based on the fact that the Mo family is unwilling to invest in the entertainment industry, it is certain that the young newcomer will never marry into the Mo family. The Mo family didn't invest in this area just because they didn't like the entertainment industry. Even if you don't care about the incompatibility of family backgrounds, you still can't accept an actress who works in the entertainment industry. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 968. Chapter 968. Gong Zili is the financial backer behind Xiao Mian. Generally wealthy families look down upon the entertainment industry. How about a top wealthy family like the Mo family? The Mo family is a truly famous family, and those who can marry into it must be from a well-matched family. So even if the young newcomer is really liked by President Mo, the outcome is already doomed. It's better to make as much as you can while this love and favor are still there. Pave more escape paths for the future. Linda frowned slightly. Although she felt that what Zhao Kai said was not very nice, it was also very realistic. It is of course a very, very good thing to be liked by President Mo. This is what every woman dreams of. However, who can say how long the favor of a wealthy family member can last? With their status, there is never a shortage of beauties of all kinds around them. The novelty for ordinary people only lasts a few months. How much more so for such a proud man like them? It is common to change women every 3 to 5 days. If you can maintain it for a month or two, you are considered a person you like very much. If it can last for a year or two, it's probably true love. Xiao Mian is very beautiful, and she has the kind of appearance that men would like after seeing her. It is not surprising that a child from a wealthy family would fall in love with her. But no matter how good looking it is difficult to stabilize the hearts of these proud people. It's really better to get more benefits while their hearts have not yet transferred to other women. Well, I will have a good talk with her. Linda also became a little worried about Xiao Mian when she thought of Mo Yesie's handsome face that could easily kill male entertainers in the entertainment industry. With such an extremely prominent and noble status, and a face that can make women crazy, no woman would be able to keep her heart in a relationship with such a man. I hope that girl Xiao Mian will not fall into this trap. But having said that, even the eldest lady of the Shen family couldn't resist the charm of that man, and she had been in unrequited love for so many years. I'm afraid Xiao Mian has already fallen into it. Now I just hope that she is not in too deep. Don't be foolish enough to take your feelings too seriously. Instead, you may fight for what you should get, but don't take it seriously. Asterisk. The other side. Mo Yesie expressed his position and directly told Zhao Kai about his relationship with Xiao Mian. Zhao Kai immediately asked Huanyu's official Weibo to post a statement. In the statement, more than 20 Weibo accounts were sued. There are big vs and ordinary netizens in it. His lawyer's letter was very effective once it was issued. Those accounts that were sued were quickly banned. Some netizens who were still gossiping were a little frightened when they saw this, and deleted previous related discussions. There are also those who are brave and not afraid of death, and are still trying to figure out who Xiao Mian's financial backer is. Netizens have seen the previous series of operations. Anyone who is not a fool can see that Xiao Mian does have a very powerful backer behind him. In addition, there were rumors that she had a sponsor, so netizens speculated that her sponsor was responsible. Because she had 2 scandals with Gong Zili before. Even though the 2 scandals were just rumors without actual evidence, as the woman whom Gong Zili defended for the first time on Weibo, netizens had all kinds of imaginations about their relationship and unanimously concluded that Gong Zili is the financial backer behind Xiao Mian. Otherwise, who would have such great ability to delete all hot searches and related topics in an instant? End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 969. Chapter 969, Uncle, do you know who I am? Just like Weibo is its own industry. It would not be surprising if the crown prince of the Gong family took action. Because he does have that ability. The hot searches and related topics of Xiao Mian and Tuyuli have been removed. But she and Gong Zili quickly became a new round of hot searches. Is the crown prince of the Gong family the mysterious financial backer behind the scenes? Hashtag the prince of the Gong family was so angry that he became a beauty hashtag secret interaction hashtag. Related topics such as this have all become hot searches. When the new round of scandal between Gong Zili and Xiao Mian made a fuss, Xiao Mian didn't know about it at all. The plane landed in Yuncheng. Wearing a peaked cap and a black mask that covered half of her face, she walked off the plane with her hair down and her head buried. Fortunately, because the flu has been prevalent these days, there are quite a few people wearing masks when traveling. So her outfit did not attract other people's attention. Xiao Mian walked out of the airport with her head buried like this. It wasn't until she got into a taxi that she reached out and took off her mask. She looked at the driver in front of her. Mo's building, thank you. The driver in front glanced at her in the rearview mirror, with a trace of doubt in his eyes. After hesitating for a few seconds, he tentatively asked, Miss, we haven't seen her before, have we? Xiao Mian. She raised her head and glanced at the driver who was old enough to be her father in the driver's seat, and frowned slightly. No. This driver is already old, but he still wants to chat up a girl. And still in such an old-fashioned way? Although she felt quite speechless in her heart, she still politely replied, well, I haven't seen him before. It must be our first time meeting. Really? The driver still looked puzzled, looked up in the rearview mirror, and then muttered to himself, then why do I think you look familiar? I seem to have seen you somewhere. Xiao Mian. She really wanted to say, Uncle, such an old-fashioned way of picking up conversations has long been outdated. Moreover, she really has no interest in men who are old enough to be her elders. The driver muttered a few words to himself. Seeing that Xiao Mian didn't respond, he stopped talking. Along the way, Xiao Mian could still hear him mutter a few words from time to time, it really looks familiar. 40 minutes later, downstairs of Mo's building. Xiao Mian gave her the money and was about to get off the car when she suddenly heard the driver's uncle slap her thigh, then pointed at her and said, I remember, are you the actress named, what's your name, Xiao Mian? Xiao Mian was about to get off the car. She turned back in shock and looked at the driver with wide eyes. The driver's uncle also looked at her with wide eyes. You are the actress named Xiao Mian, right? I must have recognized it right. I just suddenly remembered it, no wonder I always thought you looked familiar. Xiao Mian was stunned for several seconds before she came back to her senses and said in disbelief, Uncle, do you know who I am? She felt it was normal to be recognized by young people. After all, most young people use Weibo. She has been on trending searches every few days during this period. Many people may be familiar with her. But being recognized by an uncle who was about 50 years old made her feel like it was science fiction. Perhaps this uncle driver is also someone who likes to use Weibo. So you recognized her? End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 970. Chapter 970. He and I are just ordinary friends. The uncle driver stared at her, nodded and said, "My daughter likes you very much and says she is your fan. Miss Jiao, you are indeed very beautiful. I didn't expect you to be even more beautiful in person than in the photo. No wonder my daughter I like you so much. Jiao Mian Mian." She blushed a little when she was praised. "Ahem, thank you, uncle." "Miss Jiao, can you sign an autograph for me?" The uncle driver scratched his head and said a little embarrassedly, "I want to get an autograph for my daughter. Tomorrow is her birthday. If I can receive your autograph, I think she will be very happy." Chiao Mian Mian looked at the shy look on the driver's face, and suddenly felt very sorry when she thought that she had mistakenly thought he was trying to strike up a conversation. Of course she nodded immediately. "Do you want a signature?" "That's no problem. I have a pen here, where can I sign it for you?" The uncle driver didn't expect that she agreed immediately. He immediately took out a small book and handed it to her with an excited expression. "Just sign it here. Miss Jiao, can you write this to wish her a happy 18th birthday, just a few words. If I ask for too much, you can just sign it." "No problem. For Chiao Mian Mian, this is just a piece of cake." She quickly wrote a line of words in a small notebook. "Happy 18th birthday to the little fairy. The signature is, your friend Chiao Mian Mian." After she finished writing, she handed the notebook to the driver. The uncle driver took it, looked down, and said with gratitude in his eyes, "Thank you, Miss Jiao, your handwriting is so beautiful. My daughter will definitely be very happy when she sees your blessing." It turns out that the rumors on the internet are really not credible. "Miss Jiao, you are such a nice person, how could you be like what they say?" Chiao Mian Mian was stunned for a moment. Rumors on the internet? Yes, the uncle driver raised his head, looked at her and said, "I watched the news with my daughter. The internet said that Miss Jiao was very unbearable. But how could Miss Jiao be such an easygoing and gentle person? That's what it says on the internet. But Miss Jiao, can I ask you a question?" "Of course, if I offend you with my words and you don't want to answer, you don't have to worry about me." Chiao Mian Mian hesitated for a moment, nodded and said, "Okay, you ask." The driver's uncle thought for a while and then said, "I saw someone saying that Miss Jiao has an unusual relationship with your director. Are these also untrue scandals?" Chiao Mian Mian was stunned. She looked at the honest-looking and kind-looking uncle driver in front of her, with a trace of suspicion flashing in her eyes. However, although she thought the question asked by the driver was a bit strange, she still replied to him, "Are you talking about Director Bai? He and I are just ordinary friends. He is my director and I am one of his subordinates. Actress, that's all." "So that's it." The driver's eyes flickered slightly, and then he said with a smile, "It seems that the rumors on the internet are really unbelievable. Miss Jiao, thank you very much for helping me sign this name. For my daughter, this will definitely be the best birthday gift she has ever received." "Uncle, you are too polite. I should be the one thanking your daughter for liking me and supporting me. Asterisk. Get out of the car." Chiao Mian Mian put the mask on again. She came back this time without telling Mo Yesi in advance. After entering the lobby, she walked directly to the front desk. End of this chapter.